Hello and welcome everybody to another Pioneer Masters draft. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. Am I doing all Pioneer Masters? Am I doing all Foundations? It does seem like all of you many of you have said that you like going back and forth, so maybe we'll do a little bit of that. So we had a really sweet Pioneer Masters draft yesterday where we drafted all of the colors, all of the gates, and Chromanticore won us basically every game. It was an awesome draft deck with multiple Planeswalkers. Highly recommend you go back and watch that video. But let's see if we can do something sweet again in Pioneer Masters draft. Now, before I head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. If you want to pick up any singles or sealed products at the most competitive prices, or you want to gift some cards or sealed products, make sure you check out TCGplayer.com and click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Additionally, check out HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, make sure you go to HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. This is my first video that I'm doing. We just had the Arena Championship this weekend. Shout out to Keisuke Sato qualifying for the World Championship. And I don't have it in front of me, but Mikko Iraksinen, I believe, also playing some incredible Standard. So really excited to have two more people in the World Championship and see who else rounds out that roster for next year. Alrighty, new pack. What do we got? Notion Thief. If an opponent would draw a card except the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, instead that player skips that draw and you draw a card. Doesn't seem especially good in normal draft. What else is there? Anchor to the Ether. 3-mana sorcery, put target creature on top of its owner's library. That's certainly something fine. There's Brineborn Cutthroat, which I think is just okay. Hero of Lina Tower is quite interesting. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Hero of Lina Tower, you may pay X. If you do, put X +1/+1 counters on the hero. And common, I think Wild Slash is pretty much the card that I want to be going with. Gnarlback Rhino is also pretty interesting, and I haven't drafted a lot of green decks, but Wild Slash also seems pretty nice, and I don't know that I've drafted a bunch of red either. This feels to me like it's the best red common. So why don't we do that? Why don't we start with Wild Slash this time around and see where things go? Ooh, Sire of Insanity. I'm not used to this art. 6 mana, 6/4. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards their hand. Don't think I'm really actually that interested in this. I mean, there's going to be instances where I have more cards and the body is just kind of mediocre. So I don't think I want to take Sire of Insanity here. Silk Wrap is a solid removal spell. Dual Port Cutthroat's fine if you're doing the red-black sacrifice thing. Labyrinth Champion, if you're doing the heroic thing, that's also fine. Compulsory Rest is a solid removal spell. And then there's District Guide, which I absolutely just love. So at common, I think I'm probably looking at District Guide or the Compulsory Rest. But I'm going to take District Guide. I just feel like there's a lot more fun you can have with this card. It gives you a good amount of value. So why don't we take that, despite seeing two solid white removal spells in here as well. Of course, we first pick Wild Slash, but that doesn't mean that we're red at all. That was just simply the best card out of that pack. Moving into pick number 3, a lot of interesting options here. Ob Nixilis' Cruelty is probably the best common in the set. Easily splashable, the Exile being very relevant as well. Some decent signpost commons here at Liev Sky Knight and Imperious Oligarch. And Dreadbore as well. These are all very solid multicolored cards. There's another Compulsory Rest. So a lot of solid options here, but again, I'm just going to take the best card here, and I do think that's an Ob Nixilis' Cruelty. Shipbreaker Kraken is just really expensive, and the removal actually is decent enough where I don't think this is what I want to play. Experiment 1 is fine if I want to curve out, but I think I'd rather just draft a more mid-rangey / controlling style of deck here and take the Ob Nixilis' Cruelty. All right, moving on to pick number 4. That's a late Murmuring Mimic. This card's really cool. There's also Savage Punch, which I really don't like unless you're really heavily into like a red-green beatdown deck with big creatures. I really like Pilgrim's Eye and I like Murmuring Mystic. But I don't know that I want to start the draft out with 4 different colors of cards. That might be going a little bit too deep, but this is a really cool card to build around. Especially if I end up with like a blue-black control deck or something. I can take the Mystic or Pilgrim's Eye, I think. You know what? This card is too sweet. I like Pilgrim's Eye too, but I'm just... Right now, I'm still at the point where I'm just taking cards that look fun to me, and then we just kind of figure everything else out. So that's kind of gonna be my approach. and kind of see where things land. Here we have pretty mediocre pack. There's a Courier's Briefcase, which could be interesting if we draft all the colors. Follow the Hammer is an okay removal spell. I don't think I want to take Compulsory Rest as my last colored removal spell. And Honored Hydra is simply just okay. All right, you know what? Why don't we just see what we can do? Let's go deep here. Maybe we can draft a bunch of colors. Let's take this Courier's Briefcase. Not clear that Gates is necessarily open, but hey, this just lets us splash and really just let us kind of push the limits of what we think we can pull off here in this limited environment. So now this is kind of a weaker pack. I don't really care too much about Read the Bones here. There is a Boros Gilgan, and I think I'm just going to take that here. I don't really care too much for any of these other cards. Read the Bones certainly would be fine if I wanted to go blue-black, but I'm not entirely sure, and I feel like this gate can be pretty useful. So why don't we go ahead and take the gate out of this pack and move on. Here we have kind of a weak pack. There's a Gust of Wind, though, which I do like as an interactive spell. Just even at 4 mana, bouncing something and drawing a card is nice. And if you ever do have a flyer, that's also pretty good. There's a Selesnya Guildgate as well, but why don't we take the Gust of Wind? I think this is a pretty solid interactive spell and can potentially push us into a blue controlling direction. Now I will take a Philology Archaeologist. A lot of white gates that we see, but I don't mind this card. I think it's a really good play, especially if you're going to be playing a deck with a bunch of non-land cards. Notably, you can even get Courier's Briefcase with the Philology Archaeologist. And now we have the choice between Anchor to the Ether and Izzet Guildgate. I think Anchor is a pretty decent spell. You get to just 3 mana bounce something and scry 1. And Izzet Guildgate's also okay, but I just like having more good spells in my deck. So why don't we take Anchor to the Ether? It does feel like blue is somewhat open here. So let's try our best to cut off blue and see if we can draft some kind of a controlling deck. Not seeing so much green here, but we are seeing a bunch of blue. We have an Obnixilus's Cruelty and some green cards, but we'll see. Play this one at a time. I'll take a Top Crop Skirmisher. I don't really like Sire of Insanity, especially in a controlling deck, but if I have a bunch of self-mill cards like the Archaeologist, the Skirmisher could come in handy as just a random playable 2-drop. There's also Nemesis of Mortals, but I think I'm probably going to have too many spells for that card to be any good. That's a late Goblin Heel Cutter. If I wanted to be an aggressive deck, I think the Heel Cutter would be fantastic, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I think I'd rather just take the Briefcase here and really push the limits of what this type of deck can do. And now let's take an Opal Lake Gatekeepers. And if we do end up with enough gates, certainly that's something that we can do. Now I'll take Follow the Hammer. Solid interactive spell. I'm not sure if red is open. We saw the Heel Cutters, but we will have these all as kind of maybes. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. We will see where this goes. All right, Master of Waves is awesome. At the very least, this is a 4-mana 2/1 protection from red, and then it enters a battlefield, and you get a 1/0. You get basically a 2/1 elemental token equal to your devotion to blue. So even if you don't have too many blue things, this card's still really nice. It's just an army and a can effect. It's certainly better than any of the other commons here. Gatebreaker Ram is the other consideration. If I did want to go green and have a bunch of gates, this thing is just massive. But you know, I'm not entirely sure how open green was or how open gates was. So I'm going to take Master of Waves. You know, this could honestly be Gatebreaker Ram here, but okay, we have direction here, friends. That is a second Master of Waves. This pack is actually insane. There's also a Pia and Kiran Nalaar, which is one of the best rares in the entire set. But how do I pass up on a second Master of Waves? Now I just want to draft all blue creatures. Hold on. Top Crop Skirmisher might get back in here. Because with double Master of Waves, can we do some mono blue something? I don't know, but I'm gonna try. I have to try. I have no option but to try. All right, let's get these green cards out of here. Maybe we're gonna be something like a blue-red tempo-y deck. There's a Storm Chaser Mage now, which is also quite strong. Celestial Archon is a fine big creature. There's another Courier's Briefcase. There's a Gust of Wind, but I want blue permanents. And Storm Chaser Mage seems like the perfect type of blue permanent to draft around these Master of Waves. Maybe some kind of a mono bluey splash red deck here to go with the double Master of Waves. All right, we have direction here. This is kind of what I want to be doing with my life. And now there's a Cloudfin Raptor. I think I'm going to have more creatures now. This is a nice Nice creature to play in your decks. There is also a Brineborn Cutthroat, so that's the other option. But give me the Cloudfin Raptor. Let's go. Let's go. This also makes Gust of Wind much better. And like I said, I'm really going to be leaning into the blue cards here. Blue did seem open as well in the first pack. Now we have an interesting option. Is Steam Augury actually good? Get you cards. The Scob is replaceable, and the Salvo can be okay if you have a lot of cheap spells. And the Izzet Guildgate's obviously fine too. I'm going to take the Salvo just because it's a decent removal spell, I think. Just to be able to double spell, and I'm probably going to have prowess cards here. So why don't we go with that? There's an Oath of Jace in this pack, which is not especially good. This is, far better if you have Planeswalkers. Although it is a blue permanent. It is a blue permanent. But I think I just want the Archaeologist here, right? There's also Gust of Wind. Actually, maybe the pick is just Gust of Wind. I think this card is just excellent. We have a lot of bounce effects here, but I do think that's going to be pretty good here. And now this feels, if I'm going to be playing a bunch of spells, Jesse and Thief certainly seems to be where I want to be over the Scob. And yeah, taking a bunch of blue permanents here. Taking a bunch of blue permanents with the Master of Waves. Now I think I do take Cloudfin Raptor over Gust of Wind. It does make the Gust of Winds better. Having a bunch of flyers is nice with all the spells. I think that's what I want to do. All right. Let's do this. I am really excited about this deck, by the way. I don't really care about Rimrock Knight. There's Sight Beyond Sight, but I think I just want another Gust of Wind here. And wow, the Murmuring Mystic tabled! Is blue open? Absolutely. The Cloudfin Raptor is actually not going to be insane here, but this is just... I'm just happy with every card that I have here, and that's another Gust of Wind. Do we even need to play red? Probably. Maybe Fall of the Hammer isn't particularly good just because all my creatures are kind of small. So I can see a world where I cut the Fall of the Hammer, but quad Gust of Wind with 3 flyers. Murmuring Mystic can also be a flyer. This is nice. This is interesting. I am very, very excited. And Brineborn Cutthroat is another blue card. We don't have that many instants though, so maybe it's not going to be good here. We only have Wild Slash, so that could be on the chopping block here as well. But I do like all the creatures that we have. And I think this is a really nice setup here so far. I just love that there are rares like Master of Waves where you almost never draft a mono blue devotion deck, but you get a Master of Waves and things change. Now, do I wish I had a P and Kiran Nalaar? Maybe, but this is also fine. The Scob, are you good in this deck? I think I like Archaeologist a fair amount here. Just because we're going to have a decent number of spells. But I would hate to mill the, Master of Waves and Murmuring Mystics. I'm not sure. We'll put a lot of these on the maybe list and see where things go. There is a Pelucranos. This card is amazing. But we can't take it. And we are sad. I don't really like Rapid Hybridization. There's also a Liliana. This is insane. We opened 2 absurd bombs. Can't play either of them. Do I just take one of them? Do I just take the Mythic? I'm just not going to play anything out of this pack. I'm going to have enough playables. This doesn't really feel like a Goblin Heel Cutter deck, right? We're just kind of being evasive. And if there was even a decent spell here, I'm sorry whoever I'm hate drafting this from, but I'm just going to take the Liliana. All right, moving on. Wow, Zathrid Necromancer as well? Okay. Let's just take another Cloudfin Raptor here. And now... the nice thing about the Archaeologist is that because it has 3 toughness, it can pump the Cloudfin Raptor an additional time, which I do like. And it's just a 2-mana play that helps us find a spell and builds Devotion, so probably something that we're interested in playing. A Hornet Nest, God, Triplicate Spirits, Dinrova Horror is awesome. Man, I guess I just take another Cloudfin Raptor? How many Cloudfin Raptors is too many? I feel like we're reaching a critical... threshold here of the number of Cloudfin Raptors that I would be interested in playing here. Kind of want more spells. I guess we could play Fall of the Hammer with these Prowess cards. It's still kind of a 2 damage effect, which isn't insane. Certainly gets a lot better if I play the Scob. All right, what do we take here? There is a Zephyr Winder, another flyer. Now remember, these Cloudfin Raptors also just makes my Gust of Winds insane. I don't really care about Monastery Swiftspeeder, so it's just a matter of whether or not I want Essence Scatter and the Winder. And I think I just want another blue evasive flyer. This just kind of with double Master of Waves, this is just absolutely everything that I want to be doing. So let's just curve out, play a bunch of flyers, bounce a bunch of things with Gust of Wind, and win that way. All right, moving on to this pack. Don't really like Artisan of Forms, don't really have any way to target. Dragon Mantle doesn't really seem especially good in this type of deck, so it's between Essence Scatter and Salundi Vision. And I actually think I'm just going to take Salundi Vision. I think spell lands are just very strong in general, so I'll be happy to have this in my deck. Also I'm not entirely sure if this is the case. Can somebody clarify this for me? But if I cast Philology Archaeologist, can I hit Salundi Vision off of it? I'm not entirely sure. So that is a question that I have for all of you. Moving into this pack, certainly some really strong Orzhov cards in Sin Collector and Cartel Aristocrat. Undead Butler also good in the Sacrifice theme deck, but I guess I'll just take Nivik Cyclops. I don't have a million spells, but it's a solid body. It pumps the Cloudfin Raptors and works pretty well with the Fall of the Hammer, which I do think I'm going to play just because I'm pretty light on interaction here. Would like more spells. I would consider. But the thing is, when I'm playing this style of deck, I want proactive spells, but I don't think I want Retraction Helix. I guess I'm playing Essence Scatter here. I don't love it, but honestly, with all the bounce effects we have, it's probably fine to play one copy. But in this type of deck, with some of the prowess cards that we have and the Murmuring Mystic, well, actually, Murmuring Mystic is fine, but with Thief, Nivik Cyclops, and the Stormchaser Mage, this deck is much more interested in proactively playing spells to trigger your prowess offensively. But, you know, when life gives you Essence Scatters, you do what you got to do. That wasn't a very wise sounding saying, but here we are. All right, this is the pack that I opened, and I guess there's the Heel Cutter here. There's a Rapid Hybridization, but I hate this card, so I don't think I'm going to take it here. And I guess I'll take Heel Cutter, but this doesn't feel like a Heel Cutter deck. Look at all these Boros cards. I mean, that's a thing. People still... I don't even know what you're supposed to be a lot of the time, but I got these Master of Waves, and I wanted to make it work, okay? That is all that there was to it. Like, Dinrova Horror being pick 11 is just criminally late, along with the Liev Sky Knight. Now, I know blue is open. I didn't see a bunch of black cards, but it's kind of funny because if you look at my blue and like Dinrova Horror, Liliana, and Ob Nixilis' Cruelty is arguably better than the red cards, right? It's arguably better than the red cards, but it is what it is. I think I'm going to take the Boulder Salvo here over Sight Beyond Sight. And now there's another Essence Scatter. Mizium Skin, is that something I want? I don't know. I do have the Master of Waves. All right, well, this is another fun deck. Probably going against the grain here, but we'll see. Target creature you control gets hexproof. This is a card I normally wouldn't play. But with double Master of Waves, I feel like you can make the case to playing this, right? Just to be able to save this and a Murmuring Mystics. So yeah, this is like a combo deck. A combo deck. Now here's the thing though, like how good is my red? Like legitimately, because Stormchaser Mage is decent, Nivik Cyclops is fine, and this gives us some interaction. Whereas black gives us Dinrova Horror, Ob Nixilis' Cruelty, and Liliana. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with the blue-red deck. I like all the spell shenanigans. All right, let's clean this up real quick and see what we have laid out in front of us. All right, this is what I got, and this is an exciting deck, and I actually think normally I don't like this card very much, but because in this specific deck, all of our 4-mana creatures are extremely strong, and we want them to stay on the battlefield. And oftentimes what I want to be doing is waiting till turn 5 to be able to deploy Master of Waves Murmuring Mystic with the Mizium Skin. So I do think I want to play the Mizium Skin here and go with something like this. I think Fall of the Hammer might still just be too bad. I only have Nivik Cyclops. This is kind of like a situational 2 damage spell, and I think I'd rather just have the bounce effects. And I do like most of the creatures that I have. It is important to have a solid number of creatures here so that you could just curve out with Master of Waves. And with the Cloudfin Raptor, I am interested in just playing a good number of creatures as well. So this is kind of interesting because I want a bunch of creatures for Cloudfin Raptor and Master of Waves, but I also want a bunch of spells for the Cyclops, the Storm Chaser Mage, and the Jessian Thief. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut the Fall of the Hammer here. Play this and see how this goes. This is really exciting. I don't know if this deck is good, but you know what? I had a really good time drafting this deck, and we'll see how this goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon, and I do want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot and really allows me to continue making all of this content. All right, turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor as expected on the play here. Into turn 2 Philology Archaeologist. Hello, opponent. What you got? Nothing. All right. Let's pump up the Raptor. We missed. Unlucky. We actually don't have a million spells, so it's pretty likely that we'll miss, actually. Oh, we drew a land. That was really big, because now we can go Nivik Cyclops. Hopefully they don't have Essence Scatter. That pumps up our Cloudfin Raptor. And hey, look. This is just a nice little tempo hand, right? We just beat down here, and then we can play Gust of Wind. Brineborn Cutthroat is something I do. Brineborn Cutthroat, I don't think it's especially good in blue-green. Alpha, what does this do? It's got hexproof. Oh. Interesting. That's not cool. Hexproof. That's not a fun mechanic, I'm going to say. It's okay. We're good. So they're going to put something on this, presumably. Man, all my interaction! This is so lame! Just please play another creature, please. Oh, this at least bounces non-land permanents. Okay. So I can bounce the Alpha Authority, actually, and that's going to be Nimbus Naiad. Glade cover. What is happening here? What do I bounce? Really wanted a land for Master Waves, of course. I suppose it's Nimbus Naiad? Okay. Then attack for 3? For 5, rather? A chump block? Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay. And then we play the Salindi Vision. Currently, Master of Waves will get us 4 tokens, which is amazing. Experiment 1 into Nimbus Naiad. Okay. Wow. I kind of want to hold off on this Master of Waves for now, I think. So let's go Cloudfin Raptor. Wild Slash. Nimbus Naiad. And then Boulder Salvo, the Experiment 1. And beat down for 8. They might chump here. Nope. District Guide, sure. Do I have any other elemental creatures? I sure don't. Wow. I guess their plan was not to block with it anyways, so makes some sense. Boom. Yes. Yes. Evolve, my birdies. Evolve. All right. Now, if they kill Master of Waves, I lose all my stuff. But I have 2/2/3 Cloudfin Raptors, so that should still probably be good enough. What does this do? Okay, well, let's block with one of these. Hold on, let's block with this. Okay. Good beats. Good beats. All right, Master of Waves getting it done. All right, playing the tempo game. I'm not really sure what our opponent was up to there on that side. I suppose the blue-green deck is also a target your own creatures strategy. I always thought blue-green was... I guess if you're blue-green plus many colors, you're Gates. But if you're just straight blue-green, you're probably playing a deck with Gnarlback Rhinos and Glade Cover Scouts and maybe some ways to pump them. I'm not entirely sure. I still haven't drafted this set enough to really get a firm handle on everything. I'm just kind of playing things on the fly. Pretty clearly here, right? Because I'm just kind of taking cards that look cool and kind of just trying to draft somewhat linear strategies based off of whatever rare that I end up picking up. All right, our opponent mulliganed the 5, and we have a double Cloudfin Raptor start with Jesse and Thief. Double Master of Waves. Oh, that's so sweet. Come on. You have to admit, that is sweet, right? That is so dang sweet. Undead Butler, sure. Milled some great cards. Let's play a Jesse and Thief. 2 in the air. Nyx Weaver. It's kind of interesting. I think they're pretty likely to have a removal spell here, so I'm going to play the Storm Chaser Mage and try to get them to use a removal spell on one of my flyers and play accordingly. And given that I just don't... Yeah. My curve is pretty low. I don't think I need to play the Saloon Division here, given that I'm pretty likely to just want to play Master of Waves here. It'll be pretty bad if I find another Cloudfin Raptor or something like that, but should be okay. Dreg Mangler. Interesting, they didn't use a removal. I kind of want to find a protection spell for Master of Waves. Why don't we cast the Saloon Divisions? There's a lot of good spells we can hit here. Boulder Salvo or Gust of Wind would be very, very good. Gust of Wind, there we go. All right. What do they have in the graveyard? Fell Stingers. Sure. I mean, the Undead Butler puts it into hand, and they're kind of stuck on lands, so it doesn't really matter. I'd rather just get this trade in. And I imagine they're going to block here, because they don't want me to draw a card, but that's fine. They're taking a bunch of damage. We're tempoing them out here. Still a decent spot. They're probably just going to have all of the Nyx Weavers here. Yep. Another tempo-y card would be so good. Wow! We are truly doing here, friends. We are truly doing it. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Oh man. Oh, this is too much fun. This is too much fun. I get to live all the dreams. We had a sweet 5-color deck in the last one. Now we have a mono blue devotion deck. Power level, unclear. Fun level, 10 out of 10. Okay, this hand is less good. I think I have to keep this, but 4 lands is certainly a lot. We are playing 17, 16 with a spell land. And drawing another land is not great. I almost considered just playing 16 lands because I have 4 copies of Gust of Wind. But because one of them is a spell land, I just wasn't sure entirely. Huh, what do I do? I kind of want to hold these spells if I can help it, or for something bigger, just because I have the Murmuring Mystic. Oh, it's the Tapper Witch's Mark, okay. You may discard a card, and then they get a Wicked roll on the card. Well, I guess I'll kill it. I don't want to give them the option, right? Creature? No. I mean, I don't really have any other plays here. Do I just bounce this token and then just get a scry in? I think so. Yeah, okay. Hey, that scry was valuable. And this is a better use of my mana because Gust of Wind costs 2 mana, right? Unless they kill my Cloudfin Raptor. Of course. Of course they killed my Cloudfin Raptor. It's okay still. It's okay. I hope they're out of action. Man. Anchored to the Ether would have been better now that we drew the Boulder Salvo. Granted, with this board, I don't think I'm going to want to do Anchor into Boulder anyways. But Witch's Mark. Okay. Hey, they must actually have a decent hand here. Did they discard? No. What is happening here? They're attacking? Oh, it must be a Boulder Salvo. With this, I mean, this attack is just so suspect, I'm gonna just take it. This attack doesn't make any sense, so. This has to be a Boulder Salvo, right? Martial Glory would have been pretty bad for them to attack with, so. I mean, maybe they have a Martial Glory? I don't know. Just felt like Boulder Salvo was the card that they had. I'm going to run it out this way because this will give me a flyer. Oh, it is Martial Glory. That attack was pretty... Okay, you know what? I mean, they could still have a... Well, now with the Boulder Salvo, they would need to go land Boulder Salvo. But I guess that was just a decent bluff attack. Alright, whatever. Okay, yeah. It was just a bluff attack. I mean, they got me. Good beats, right? Oof, look at them go. I think they just have one mode, and that's attack with everything, so. Alright, now we get to... we get to play Zephyr Winder, actually, make this cost 1 less. And I do think I just want to bounce a Thopter. Make a couple of flyers. Draw a card. Okay. Bounce another Thopter. Oh, man. That is great. Murmuring Mystic. Heck of a magic card. Heck of a magic card. Okay. Gearcrafter, sure. Let's play the Archaeologist here. See if we can find another spell. That's a Boulder Salvo, which we're certainly going to get back. And now what do? I just don't care about any of these creatures. I kind of just want to kill... I mean, I guess I don't even have to kill them. Kill that. I am at 8, though, and I just want to put more flyers into play. I could just kill the Crusader. Yeah, maybe that's just the play. All right. One card left for the opponent here. Let's see what they have. Okay, well, we're blocking. Okay, flyer. 2-1. 1-1. I feel like this could maybe be like a Dictate of Heliod, so I just have to be careful here with how I block. Can't be a Slag Storm, right? No, it's just a Boulder Salvo? Sure. I mean, they're so dead. Gust of Wind. Okay. What do I want to untap? I'll attempt the 1-3 flyer. Just because they could play some giant hasty flyer, I guess. All right, we managed to survive the onslaught here. You know, we've looked at a lot of cards. Where's our Master of Waves? That would be a nice one, right? Really hard for the red-white deck to even kill. Goblin Heal. Oh. Wow. Okay, well, we're definitely just chump blocking here. Let's keep our life total somewhat high. That was about as good of a top deck as you could hope for, actually. I'm actually just going to bounce this. It's just expensive, right? They can't heal cutter plus that. Let's play the Archaeologist. Oh, did we mill one of the Master Waves, maybe? Oh, well, we certainly milled one there. All right, this has got to lock it down. We have 4 blockers. All right, 3-0 with our nearly mono blue tempo deck. And now, Diamond 1. Diamond 1. Everything is coming up Cheons, as they say. Let's keep it going. All right, on the play here. My hand doesn't do anything, but I'll keep. I'm on the play. It's fine. There you go. The old delayed Cloudfin Raptor. Oh, you know what? That was actually a mistake. Oh, Paul! What is wrong with you? Wait, why did I play a Mountain too? Oh, this is just all kinds of bad. Alright, the reason why it was a mistake was because I want to wait to go Cloudfin Raptor plus Boulder Salvo. And I'm actually not... I'm just going to play the Saloon Division. I think I just want more action. Hit the Boulder Salvo. Oof, that was that the last card down? I think it might have been. Alright, there we go. One more land here will be great, because then we can go Master of Waves into Mizium Skin. Although, given that they're Teamer, it's not going to be that easy for them to kill Master of Waves anyways. Whenever you draw a card, put a counter on Chasm Skulker. Let's just go with Master of Waves. This just puts on a lot of pressure in the skies. And then the nice thing about this too is that the Murmuring Mystic also pumps my Cloudfin Raptors, even if they find a way to kill my Master of Waves. And I'm hoping that because they're teamer, it's going to be much harder for them to do so. Okay? That's totally fine. Oh, they could have Gust of Wind. Gust of Wind would be annoying. Okay, they don't. So this is all excellent news for us. And I think my plan is to bounce the Skulker. And I don't want that. I want to land. And just attack with everything but Master of Waves. Alright. Beaten down. We have a Mizium skin to protect the Master of Waves as well. I love it. I absolutely love it. I hope they just like try to bounce my Master of Waves right now. I hope that's their play. Doesn't look like that's the play though. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nope. It's just coming together so nicely. I'm just... Like, I kept a hand that doesn't do anything and I drew double Cloudfin Raptor. Look, I will be the first one to admit that I'm certainly getting very lucky here with my draws too. But hey, this deck is just... I thought the last deck couldn't be topped, but this one is also really, really fun. Alright, on the play here, we got Cloudfin Raptors, some Cheon Thieves, and Gust of Winds. Yep. I am in for this hand. Let's play another Cloudfin Raptor. Would love a land here to play the Cheon Thief. McKindy Slide Runner. If I don't draw... Okay, perfect. Perfect! Look at this curve. Look at this curve. Now if we draw another land, oh my gosh. Alright, we're taking 3 here. Obnixilus's Cruelty, sure. Okay. So yeah, land would be ideal. That was not a land. So now I have the interesting choice of deciding whether or not I want to play the Philology Archaeologist or Gust of Wind. Gust of Wind, I really want to find a land to be able to play my 4s, but the Archaeologist gets the Cloudfin Raptors larger. But you know what? This is the highest upside play. Why don't we just do this? If we draw a land, it's really good. If we don't, it's still fine. And it slows them down too. Draws us a card. I mean, you can't ever be too incorrect playing out Gust of Wind there. Just because even if I miss on a land drop that turn, it means that I have a higher likelihood of still being able to hit the land drop on the following turn for my Murmuring Mystic here. Next turn, if we miss on a land, we can still play Archaeologist, grow the Cloudfin Raptor, and then still play Wild Slash, which is good. That's actually probably better. Let's just play Cloudfin Raptor and play the Archaeologist and grow all of our flyers. We missed, and the Archaeologist is also a good block. You know what's actually funny? Well, you know what's not funny is milling 3 lands when I need a land. But a 1/4, very nice against McKindy Slide Runner, right? So there is that. Whoa! That's pretty sick. Okay. Okay. You know what? That's pretty nice. I think I'm going to have to prevent that from going off. Let's kill that. It's a really bad use of my mana, but I don't want Burning Anger to just get me like that. And they're pretty incentivized to try to kill my Cloudfin Raptor here. They have 4 cards left in hand. Gear Report, Gear Crafter. They could have another black removal spell. Mogus's Warhound. It's a... Attacks each combat if able. Okay, that's a thing. Huh. The Mystic is nice because it allows me to attack with the Cloudfin Raptor on the left and is a Lightning Rod for removal, and then if I can... It makes it less likely for Master of Waves to get killed. So why don't we do that? 'Cause I don't want to get killed. 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 'Cause I don't Can this creature block? Yeah. All right. Like if they have an Ob Nixilis' Cruelty or something, then they're gonna want to use it on the Murmuring Mystic, and then I can run the Master of Waves, and I should be able to just overrun them. But wow, this deck is drawing absolutely beautifully. You know, it feels like a block constructed deck, right? Remember the old Mono Blue Devotion deck? I have quad Cloudfin Raptor, quad Gust of Wind to go with that, along with double Master of Waves, double Murmuring Mystic, and Mizium Skin to protect those top-end 4-mana plays. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, this is a triple Cloudfin Raptor and a Dream kind of hand. We just need any creature that's not another Cloudfin Raptor to play here. I don't think I don't think I should play the other one though, because I want to be able to play the Boulder Salvo. Why does this always happen to me? People always get me with this stupid Harpooner. No, you don't. Let's kill this Reach creature. Alright. We're kind of all in here. If we can just rattle off a couple of creatures, that'll be great. Don't play another Harpooner, though. I'll be very upset. Okay, Mangler. Classic Golgari start here. Hopefully our... Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. I gotta screenshot this. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Alright, any creature, please. Any decent-sized creature here would be phenomenal. And if my opponent doesn't play a Reach creature, I would also appreciate that. Gust of Wind would be nice, too. Gust of Wind would certainly be nice. Jesse and Thief, anything. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Ah. Alright, I'll untap a 1-2 because it can block one of these. Alright. I just need something big here. Something big, and it's going to be really tough for them. Otherwise, obviously, Cloudfin Raptor needs a little bit of help. If I can't find any creature to pump it up, it's still going to be kind of tough. Man, this is so fun. The Bounce Spell! Creature, come on! Oh, that's so disappointing. Alright, well, I technically still have lethal. If they don't have a removal spell, I have lethal with the creatures on my right. Let's see what they have. And they don't have a lethal attack, even if they kill something. Right? This is an attack for 10. Unless they have Savage Punch. Or Dragmangler. Do they have enough creatures to pump this? No way. They only have one. Are they 1 damage short? We'll see. I'm at 2. Oh, come on! Come on! No, they have... Actually, they would have killed my Winder. Yeah. Alright, you know what? GG's. The thing is, this was just... Sometimes you're just gonna lose... My opponent had just a totally fine curve. That was simply just... I just needed to find another creature, and I just drew too many Cloudfin Raptors. That is the nature of the game. That'll sometimes happen. Come on, just... Why can't I... Just one more creature. Ah. Alright, it's okay. It's totally fine. This hand looks great. We are on the draw, though, but we do have Cloudfin Raptor into Zephyr Winder, which is ideal. Boulder Salvo always just makes things kind of interesting. Let's attack. It's just a far more aggressive way to do this. Next turn we can play the Archaeologist plus Wild Slash if necessary. Let's lead with the Archaeologist so that we can pump the Cloudfin Raptor. Sure. Look at that. Cloudfin Raptor got Obnixilis Crueltied. Hey! We can get Salundi Vision. It's nice. Probably gonna play it next turn if I don't find the land. Yeah. I just have so much action here. I really just want to cast Master of Waves, if possible. Blood Baron of Vizkopa? That is a good one. Pro white? Okay. I could bounce it or I could kill it, but killing it is just such a good use of my mana. Alright, still putting some pressure here with the Zephyr Winder. Dinrova Horror? The heck? I'm gonna discard a Wild Slash. Well, now I wish I had Wild Slash. They have 3 cards. Guess I'll play the Mystic. If they play another creature next turn, I can set up for an Anchor to the Ether into Boulder Salvo turn. It looks like they're Esper control? Esper gold cards? It's pretty good. Do they have a... No way. Compulsory rest? That's fine. That's not even very good, because I still have this active ability, right? When this deals combat damage, okay. All right. I mean, Tomebound Lich is fine. And I know they get a loot, but that just felt like a pretty good tempo play, and this still gives me a couple of flyers to attack with, which I do think is pretty good. Let's attack with our flyers. Let's go Cloudfin Raptor. Zephyr Winder. Into the Archaeologist. Whiff. Sad whiff. Sad whiff. I guess I'll just... Do I just chump with the Archaeologist or let them loot? I think I just chump. I just feel like a Master Waves for 5 is going to be good enough anyways. Okay. I mean, very controlling deck they have. Wow, no attacks seems kind of ridiculous. Are any of these... Oh, that's an Elemental. Do I want to get in for an extra point of damage here? Or have them fire off a removal spell on one of my flyers? With the 3 cards they have, I think it's pretty likely that they have a removal spell. So I think I'll give up on a point of damage to see if they fire something off. And if they don't, that means I'm pretty good to just cast Master of Waves here. Or I'm hoping at least, right? I am hoping at least. Okay, Tomebound Lich, digging. Digging. Their deck is kind of sweet, I guess. There are too many colors, though. Like, you shouldn't be splashing Philology Archaeologist. Swift Reckoning? Okay, well, they're just gonna die, right? Yeah. This is just way too much. Alright, we did the thing! Once again, Master of Waves, going wide. And getting it done. Nice tempo, nice beats, Cloudfin Raptors, and Gust of Winds. I just feel like that's just a match made in heaven. And we are now 6-1 already. All right, 6-1. We are on the play here. 5 lands with a Cheon Thief and a Murmuring Mystic. I think I can do better. This is certainly better. Let's put a mountain on the bottom. I just feel like I got 4 Cloudfin Raptors and a bunch of cantrip effects. I'm kind of interested in starting things off like this, if possible. I'm just going to bounce this just to cycle. Just because I have so many of them. Find more creatures, etc. Now I'll hold them. Just because I drew the extra land here, I'm going to just go Murmuring Mystic into double Gust of Wind later. Oh, I hate you. God. Well, there goes one of the Gust of Winds. There are certain cards your opponents play where you're just like, gosh, why? I'm so sad. Sin Collector is one of those cards. Crawl Harpooner is another one of those cards. Any of those ridiculous enter the battlefield cards. Alright. Let's hope they don't have an Ob Nixilis' Cruelty. What the hell? Oh, that thing costs 4. Yep, fair enough. Okay. Alright, well, we can still go to the skies here. I hope you have more Hand Disruption. Just keep casting Hand Disruption there, buddy. Oh, forgot to grab that one, I think. All right. You know what? This is still going to be somewhat close, actually. I'll keep this in my hand just because they might fire off another Hand Disruption spell. Sure. Are they gonna sack Sin Collector plus Sanitarium Skeleton, I guess? I guess I don't block. Only because if I find a spell, I get more tokens, and my route to victory is in the air. That wasn't particularly good, but it did shorten the clock. So now they need to have a removal spell, basically, or else they die to the flyers. Oh, Zulaport Cutthroat, nice. So now I kind of have to block Nantuko Husk. Ugh. Zulaport Cutthroat really messed up the math. Ugh. They can sack Skeleton and then get it back and sack it again, or they can just sack the Sin Collector. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. Oh, they're doing it that minimizes the damage that I take, though. I don't know if I love that. But I guess they have a good follow-up here. That's not the Skeleton. No, that's the Skeleton. Wow, okay. Master of Waves. I'm in for that, I will say. 4 tokens, okay. If they kill this, I can still block with one more thing, so I think this is fine. And then what do I want to untap? Probably the Storm Chaser Mage. It blocks pretty well, and they need to sack something. And let's hope they don't have a removal spell for Master of Waves. Come on, Master of Waves, get us the trophy! Trophy time with Master of Waves! Please! Don't kill it! Don't kill it! Don't! They would have killed my Cloudfin Raptor a while ago, I feel. Right? Oh, yes! Yes! Double Master of Waves. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is what dreams are made of. Like, it's so rare to be able to get a Devotion payoff rare and to get 2 copies of it, where once you get 2 copies, you can literally build your deck around it. If I just had 1 Master of Waves, sure, it's a good card, but I'm not necessarily going to skew my deck so heavily for 1 Devotion payoff. But when you get 2, absolutely I will. Absolutely I will. Every single creature in our deck here was blue. We had 14 blue creatures in our deck. With Master of Waves, we played the Mizium skin to protect the Master of Waves as well. Murmuring Mystic also doing a decent amount of work with the 10 spells that we had in our deck. We had some ways to find spells with the Archaeologist. I mean, this deck was just a well-oiled machine. We had the Cloudfin Raptors to put pressure on our opponents, and with the Zephyr Winder and the Storm Chaser Mage, that's enough flyers in our deck to make sure that there's a really great chance that we get to cast Gust of Wind for 2 mana. When you cast this card for 2 mana, in Limited, it's kind of broken, right? 2 mana to bounce something and draw a card. You will play as many copies of that card as you can fit into your deck. And we got 4, and I was happy with all 4. Being able to play this for 2 mana also meant the Boulder Salvo would pretty regularly be surged. We had a bunch of cheap cards. The important thing to sequence, which I messed up a couple of times, was holding Cloudfin Raptor because I have Boulder Salvo in hand. Because if you don't have a creature to follow up to Cloudfin Raptor, oftentimes you want to hold this till turn 3 so you can go Cloudfin Raptor plus the Boulder Salvo. But this was a really good Boulder Salvo deck, Quad Raptor, Wild Slash as well, and a decent number of 2 mana cards so that you can play this for the Surge cost. If you can play this for the Surge cost pretty consistently, it's still a very, very solid removal spell. Remember, Gust of Wind too, might as well be a 2 mana spell. So this deck was awesome. I don't think I'm going to be able to draft this deck again, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay. You can cross this off the bucket list. Mono Blue Devotion, Quad Cloudfin Raptor, Double Master of Waves. Easy game, easy trophy, easy life. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in and enjoying this draft that we had today. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I truly do appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you oh so much. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want booster boxes, if you want singles, you name it, they got it. Go to tcgplayer.com. Click that affiliate link in the description below before you make any purchases. Last but not least, if you're in the market for top-of-the-line Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads. They're also working on a bunch of new and exciting products as well. Make sure you check them out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Maybe we'll get back to Foundations, although I had a lot of fun with Pioneer Masters. Maybe I'll do another one. We'll see. I'll figure it out on the fly. But despite that, hopefully we can draft something sweet once again. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.